Right then, let's talk about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So this will be my review. First things first, I will discuss non-spoilers, then we'll go into spoilers and kind of break it down. It was out in the UK yesterday. There were no advanced screenings with regards to like Odeon, where they do the midnight showing and things. I was hoping to catch one, but I couldn't, so I'm not overly sure what happened there. They've done a lot of marketing push for this movie, but they didn't show any advanced screenings, which to me, when I initially saw that, screamed, an issue. And now having seen the film, I have to agree with my initial thoughts that yes, there is an issue there. I think that they didn't show advanced screenings, the midnight anyway, from in my area, because it's not actually that good. So there you go. There's the first things first straight out of the way. I did not think this movie was all that good at all. And again, I'll kind of discuss non-spoilers and break it down why. I'm not just going to say it's not that good and give you no reasons. I do have justification for it. So the overall story, you've seen the trailers, so you do know the island's about to explode because there's a volcano, basically. They need to rescue the dinosaurs, take them somewhere, can't say where, and along the way there is mishap with regards to a genetically modified dinosaur dubbed the Indoraptor. None of this is spoilers, it's all in the trailer and what we all know there to be anyway. So from a story perspective, it's too much. Basically, it's too much for one movie, and it really feels in the pacing of this film. It's 2 hours 10 minutes, but it is long. It's a long 2 hours 10 minutes, and unfortunately, it's just too much of a story to cram in, because the first part of the story, the dinosaur rescue part anyway, could have been a whole movie in and unto itself, and it could have been really well fleshed out. It could have took some twists and turns, and you could have put a lot of risk there, but it fell flat because they couldn't invest as much time into it as they should. And vice versa with the last part, which again I can't really go into because some of it is kind of spoilers, but that part again, it wasn't that well fleshed out. And I know these are kids' films. I'm not an idiot, but these ones in particular are 12A, which in the UK means if you are under the age of 12, you must have a parent or guardian to basically be there with you to show that it's appropriate for you to watch the film. So they're not actually kids. They're not for little kids, these films. And as a result of that, both sides, and my justification for saying that both parts of the story are not as fleshed out does stand up, because regardless of them being kids' films or not, they're not catered to the younger audience. They are catered to an audience that would understand these things, to a degree anyway. So that part's not very good. They should have made one film for part of the story and one film for another, in my eyes. The editing and the transitions between scenes, so from a technical perspective, was actually not that good. Don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful. The film looks great. It's very well shot, but in the editing suite, when they decided to put the film together, there's really cheap and amateurish scene transitions. So for starters, they'll say, we're going to take again, non-spoilers, we're going to take these dinosaurs to X, Y, and Z. It pans over a shot of where they're going to take them, and then it fades into a shot of the island. So amateurish, and it looks cheap when it's edited together. It really does look bad. So from a technical aspect, from an editing side, it really is quite, it shows. And if you've watched a lot of movies, you can pick up on these things. It's not just me being, a critic or, knowing these things. Just anyone that's watched a lot of movies will pick up on these things and go, oh, that's a bit painful to watch. Not only that, the score is, it's not that good. It's really not that good. So the original Jurassic Park was so beautifully scored, with great kind of operatic and a very dramatic, cinematic, I know lots of icks here, score, and it worked beautifully well. This one has score in abundance. It's score everywhere. We'll put score here, we'll put a score here. Oh, a man is dramatically looking at his boat. Oh, it's score. There's just score where it doesn't need to. So they put too much music in the film, basically. And I feel they've done that in terms of compensating. And I don't know whether this is J.A. Bayona, the director's influence, and his kind of Spanish cinematic education on these films, but it doesn't work. It's overscored in my eyes. And again, and I want to hear your thoughts. I'd love to know if you felt like that. For me, I really did. So it suffers from a heavy pacing issue, badly edited, badly scored. The story is fine, but it's not very well fleshed out. To top it all off, and there are some good things, I will get into them, but to top it all off as well, there are subplots running through this film which they're so obvious. Anyway, they're incredibly obvious, and they're kind of teased as if they're a mystery. They're not. They're very, very obvious, but they don't go anywhere. That's bad writing. Don't tease a subplot or tease a mystery maybe 5-10 times for it to go nowhere and have absolutely no impact on the story at all, because that's bad writing. And no matter which way you look at it, that is not good writing. So that's an issue. Those are my main kind of gripes with this film. It was overlong, bad pacing, stories could have been separated, and you could have ended up with 2 really good films there, but they just crammed it all into one. So in short, from that side of it, Jurassic World's extinct. That's genuinely what I think. I think this franchise is going to be on the rocks after this movie. The good things though, the Blue-Owen interaction, very well done. Very, very well done. The effects are extremely good in this film. They went back to basics with a better, heavier blend of practical with CG, and it shows. It looks great. From all of the effects side of it, it's much, much better than Jurassic World. Again, in my eyes, I think it looks very, very good, and I think you guys would appreciate it just from that standpoint. There are some heavy emotional moments which do land, but because it's overdrawn and the story with the subplots are just a bit whack, they don't have the emotional weight that they should have. So, you know, basically, from a non-spoiler perspective, my recommendation is that it's not actually worth the money to go and see it. So that out of the way, let's get into spoilers. You know, if you haven't seen the movie, there's really nothing to spoil, to be perfectly honest, because it's all in the trailers, but let's get into spoilers now. So you have been warned. Spoiler, 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 warning. The subplot. So they go to the Lockwood estate, and Lockwood used to work with Hammond, the creator of Jurassic Park, and they fell out, and now he's looking to redeem himself basically by bringing the dinosaurs to Sanctuary. That is okay, that works, but he has a maniacal aide, a helper, who runs his estate, who wants to sell all the dinosaurs to gangsters, crime lords, mobsters, whatever, to the highest bidder, to then bankroll into production the Indoraptor. Okay, there's no motivation for that. There's no clear motivational reason why. His reasoning, basically, and it says it in the film, is, you know, you put me in charge to make money. I'm making money. Okay, but then why did you kill Lockwood? Because he kills him as well. He suffocates him with a pillow. What's the point? It's just completely redundant. These kind of... There's no character motivations there. There's no real reason that these people do these things. So they're not real people. And it shows when you're watching the film. The subplot, Lockwood's granddaughter is not his granddaughter. It's his daughter, but cloned and brought back to life. Doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't impact the story at all. Doesn't mean a single thing when you're watching this film. But it is teased so heavily. And I mean, just tease after tease after tease. And it's blatantly obvious, like incredibly obvious, from the moment they say it. Oh, this is his daughter. This was his granddaughter, but they were so close. You know, when his daughter died, blah blah blah. You know, they're so close. They've got a special bond, and you see them interact, and you go, oh well, I get the gist of this. It's very very obvious, but it doesn't go anywhere, and that is really lazy writing. Like it really really is. Like I said, the acting all round is pretty good. There's 2 new characters, a strong female stereotype, archetype, really cheesy, corny. It works in a slapstick kind of way, and it's fine, but it's, again, they're not real characters. When you're watching this film, you get a real sense that you are watching a film and these aren't real people. So you do disengage yourself a little bit from this. But like I say, it's difficult to really recommend this film to anyone. I watched it, it was too long, it could have been 2 different movies, it was overscored, and I just didn't really enjoy it. The Indoraptor was good, barely in it. The Indoraptor fight between, you know, Blue and Indoraptor was good, I guess. It was fine, nothing too crazy there. But again, it just wasn't really fleshed out. There was nothing much that was kind of fleshed out and created into something which you can really get your teeth into and engage with this movie. So it falls short for me. I don't rate movies, but I can't recommend this movie to anyone. And I know that probably flies in the face of the review I did yesterday for Solo, where I said it's fine, you can go out and watch it, it's worth your money if you've seen all the other Star Wars films. This movie, I've seen all of the Jurassic Park movies, right? And this one, it's difficult to recommend anyone go and see it, genuinely, because it's such a waste of 2 hours, 10 minutes. I didn't enjoy really much of this film from a percentage standpoint to say it's worth your time and it's worth your money. So I can't recommend it. That's just my honest opinion. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's the best sequel there is. You know, it's the best one, blah, 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 blah. Just because it's the best sequel that there is doesn't mean you have to waste your money to go and watch it. That's not a good gauge, because a lot of the sequels were shit. So just because it's the best sequel there is, it does not mean that that's not a good marker for things, because a lot of the sequels were not good, alright? Go and see it if you want. If you're intrigued, go and watch it. Like I say, now that I've pointed these things out, I'd love to know if you're going to watch this film and whether, you know, these things jump out to you or not, or whether, you know, you've stayed to spoilers and you've seen the movie and you picked up on any of these things. Let me know. I know this video is going to get flamed a lot because, one, elephant in the room, I don't have a fucking beard. Secondly, I have hated on this film and I know a lot of people like it. That's fine. You come to my channel for honesty and integrity, and to maintain that, I've always got to be honest. So I didn't have a good time with this movie. And like I say, secondly, I don't have a beard. I apologise. You've now seen my jaw and my face in all of its hairless glory. Guys, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Give it a share. It really does help me and the channel out. It actually gets the videos out there to a lot more people, more than you know. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, etc. And if you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram, please do over at Mr. H Reviews. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm Mr. H, and I'll catch you in the next video.